Yo, what's going on, Geek Corner? This is your boy, Earth Mac, the mad scientist, and this is Pro Wrestling Talk Live. Shout out to the infamous Alvin Staley in his absence. He had a last minute emergency. So he was going to be on the show with us today to talk about WWE and Netflix and Raw. But I'm going solo today. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you get notified on all of our content, whether it's live and recorded. And if you are a returning person or you are a returning Geek Corner member, welcome back. Welcome back, man. This is the new year, and be sure to check out the last two videos I posted. It's one of the changes that we are going to do. We're going to try to cover more of geekdom outside of the normal things that we always cover, like comics and wrestling and stuff like that. So definitely going to be covering those things. And again, shout out to the Geek Corner. Shout out to the 409 subscribers to the Orange Phoenix Geek Corner channel. Appreciate you guys, man. We on that quest to reach 500 subscribers. And then after that, we on our quest to reach 1,000 subscribers. But we started when we first started this channel, we had like maybe 15, maybe 20 subscribers. And, you know, that's like, you know, friends and family and stuff like that. But, man, over a short period, we definitely went up to over 400 subscribers. And I greatly appreciate you guys for getting there with us. So, we got some things to talk about on the Pro Wrestling Talk Live here, man. Obviously, WWE Monday Night Raw has moved over to Netflix. It moved over to had its debut show. And to be honest with you, just like the title says, it wasn't really for us. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, like, it's not really for us, is that for a normal WWE fan, like a WWE fan that has been watching Monday Night Raw, that's been watching SmackDown, that's been watching NXT, have been watching this stuff for like years and years and years, this show really wasn't for you. This show, or for us, this show was for people that don't know anything about WWE. This is for the casual viewer, right? And you should know this. Now, if you are a true WWE fan, you should know the formula by now. Anytime that WWE debuts on a network and it's their first show on that network, they're going to try to make this a PLE light. They're going to try to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. You're going to have WWE legends come out of nowhere, you know, people from the past, and you know, you're not going to see a whole lot of wrestling. You're going to see a whole lot of talking, you know, just to get the crowd pumped. Like, that's basically what this was. I mean, this was no different than the SmackDown being on Fox, because that was heavily advertised. And obviously, The Rock was there. Undertaker was advertised to be there, but Undertaker wasn't there. And then you get the Kofi Kingston Brock Lesnar match that only lasted, 7 seconds at best. So, you know, that was it for that. So you feel kind of railroaded in a way. But I will say that Monday Night Raw did try to balance everything out. Now, let's start from the beginning. Let's go to the opening, right? I mean, which is a phenomenal opening, and Triple H being in the middle of the ring, and, you know, welcome to Monday Night Raw on Netflix, you know, the whole deal, because, you know, he's the chief content creator. You know, he's that chief content officer. And, you know, you had the pyro going off, and, you know, the pomp and circumstance, right, to get you pumped for the show. Right after that, The Rock shows up, right? The Rock pulls up, he cuts his promo. And honestly, I'm not mad at this gesture at all, because The Rock is arguably one of the biggest movie stars in Hollywood. And you have some people, surprisingly, that do not know that The Rock used to be a wrestler. They know Dwayne. They don't know The Rock. There's some people in this world that, you know, feel that way. So with The Rock coming out, that it made total sense. It made really good sense for The Rock to come out to cut a promo. But what he said, though, in those promos, it was really promoting Cody, promoting Roman Reigns, right? Like, are we supposed to forget what happened last year? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, tell Mama Rose I said hello. Like, you sharing tequila with Cody in the back, or whatever the case may be. And I will address what he said on Tuesday. I mean, when you really look at things, though, like, this was a blood feud. Like, Cody was beaten to a bloody pulp in the back last year during WrestleMania season. So to go from that to go to this, it's the dots weren't connected. The lines wasn't together. You know, if you was going to promote the show, yeah, I would stay away from Cody. Either that, or give Cody like a dirty look or a stare down or something. But don't like, you know, kumbaya it. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. But either way it goes, The Rock is a needle mover. Like, he will bring more eyes to the product. And for him to start the show, I feel like that was the right move to make, just like he did on SmackDown, you know, The Rock show. So I'm not mad at all for The Rock to be the one that opened up the show, to cut a promo, or whatever the case may be. Also, knowing full well that The Rock was in a storyline last WrestleMania, and there's a speculation that he's going to be at WrestleMania this year or not. So for him to actually be on TV, that made sense. Okay, that made total sense to me. I'm not mad at that at all. That, you know, that was one of the highlights. And you go over to Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa for the Ula Fala for the right to be tribal chief, right? That match itself was phenomenal. The way that match ended was very PLE-ish, just throwing everything in the kitchen sink, throwing everybody that was involved. You got Kevin Owens, you got Cody Rhodes, you got Jimmy Uso, you got Sami Zayn, you got Tama Tonga, you got Jacob Fatu, you got all these people getting thrown in this match. It was let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? It was really a car crash. It was a car crash at the end, but it was very entertaining because everybody that was involved in that match, there's some type of connection between the two, especially Kevin Owens and Cody. You know, they got a ladder match coming up for Royal Rumble and all the other stuff. So that really does make sense. That was a really good match all in all. Another match that kind of highlighted was Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. And I think a lot of people are glad that this feud, hopefully this feud is over, because I mean, Rhea been in it with Liv, and Liv been champion, and she's carried that championship very well, I might add. She elevated herself with that championship. She elevated the championship herself. She beat Rhea Ripley twice. And then, you know, she finally dropped the title to Rhea Ripley, which is fitting when it comes to that. So for Rhea to win, I really have no qualms about that. I have no qualms about that at all. Now, as far as the production, as far as Netflix is concerned, the production was really good. It was crisp. There was no buffering, because that was everybody's biggest fear. Whenever there's a live show on Netflix, there's always some type of notion that it's going to buffer a lot. Like it's going to have some type of issue as far as connectivity is concerned. But we had no connectivity issues. Some of us got commercials, some of us didn't. I know it's been reported that the international folks that subscribe to Netflix did not have commercials. They actually got the in-betweens. They got like the New Day promoting Drake and dissing Kendrick Lamar in LA, all places, doing, you know, classic heel tactics. So, you know, we kind of miss out on that, but at the same time, still a good show overall. But let's get down to the brass tacks here. Here's what shouldn't have been on the show, and who shouldn't have been on the show was Hulk Hogan. I don't know who decided to put Hulk Hogan on the show. Now, mind you, there's some type of partnership or something like that promoting Hulk Hogan's beard. Whatever. But that wasn't a good idea, especially in LA. You know what I'm saying? That was not a good idea at all. I knew what going to be the result. The minute he was going to come out, he was going to get booed out the building. Like, people are not forgetting what he said 10 plus years ago. You understand? Like, people are not forgetting. Now, if you are hiding under a rock, if you don't know what's the big hatred towards Hulk Hogan. Now, some people think it's like politically, a political type of thing. Hogan thinks it's a political thing, but he's dumb. So it has nothing to do with his political affiliation at all. If it has something to do with his political affiliation, then The Undertaker would have got booed, right? He would have got booed, and, Triple H would have got booed, or whatever the case may be. It don't even matter, right? But it tells you it wasn't really politically fused. Now, going back to it, it says now, according to Daily Mail, it says, did Hulk think he was going to be cheered, especially bringing out Jimmy Hart, who everyone likes and who was also waving the American flag at the time? That is a resounding yes. So when he came out, got booed, then went to the back after his promo, he was instantly disappointed that the fans turned on him, but he wasn't pissed. Had it not been for him being there to promote his beer, he would have leaned into it a little more, but he just had to get through the promotion of it all. So, here's the thing with that. He could be tone deaf all day. You understand? This man could be tone deaf all day. But this is a little reminder on why people hate you so much. Because 10 plus years ago, he was recorded saying the N-word with the hard R when referring to someone of color. It has nothing to do with his political affiliation. It's what he said. And, I'm not going to like quote it word for word, obviously. But, he said, if my daughter going to deal with the N-word, it might as well be a rich N-word. And if, it's more to it than that. So it's not your political affiliation. It's what you said, player. Like, people are never going to forget what you said. Like, you were the star in the 80s, going into the 90s. Everyone loves Hulk Hogan. I really didn't. He wasn't really my favorite. I was more of a Macho Man, Randy Savage, Sting, Ultimate Warrior. I was more of a fan for them. You know what I mean? I was never, give me this Hulk Hogan this, or give me this Hulk Hogan plushie toy. I was never that type. Never that type. But after what you said, after what he said, man, come on, man. Like, you expect people to forget that? It's like, nah, brush this under the rug. That happened 10 plus years ago. Nah, it's nothing like that at all, bro. You are expected to get booed. I'm proud of LA for booing you out that building. And you promoting that trash ass beer, which I'm pretty sure someone going to drink that piss water. Somebody probably will. I mean, I'd rather have Stone Cold Steve Austin's beer than Hulk Hogan's beer, because Stone Cold Steve Austin's beer is actually pretty good, and he's not a racist. So there's that, so I don't know what WWE was thinking when it comes to that. Like, I understand you're trying to make money. And on top of all that, put the racism aside, he doesn't move the needle at all. He doesn't move the needle. It doesn't bring more viewers to the product for bringing Hulk Hogan out there. It really doesn't. That was a bad business decision. And I get what WWE is trying to do. They're trying to rebuild his image, like make people forget what he said or whatever, like business practices, yada, 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 public relations, all that other stuff. But people are not forgetting. They're literally telling you to your face, don't bring this mofo back on TV, because we're going to boo him out the building. Now, WWE is all about making money, right? So they may put him on TV to be a heel when it comes to certain things, and obviously people are going to be coming paying money to boo him, and they're going to make money off his racism. Now, there may be an off chance that Triple H did this on purpose so he can get booed out of the building. It could be a possibility. We do not know that, but it is what it is. But that right there really just made me turn the whole damn thing off. Now, I came back and watched the CM Punk Seth Rollins match, which I'm gonna jump on that momentarily. That just wasn't a good idea. at all. I hope they never put this man on TV ever again. Like ever again. If you're gonna have this man beer all over the place, they probably cut the deal off altogether. Like, I mean, I know WWE, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have him appear somewhere else. I mean, this thing made it on TMZ, Daily Mail, it's all over TikTok, it's all over YouTube. He's done. He's done. He's done. And it has nothing to do with his political affiliation. It's like you compound it, bro. Like you said the N-word repeatedly, right? Then you question someone's ethnicity. Now I'm getting too political, special. You question someone's ethnicity, which you, in a way, you kind of double down on what you said 10 plus years ago. So it's like, not good, not good, not good. But I will tell you one of the other highlights because it's two legends, three legends that actually moved the needle Monday night. The Rock was one of them. John Cena is definitely the other one because John Cena has a story to tell. This is his last year before he actually retires. And his promo left a lot of speculation of whether or not he's going to break the record and be a 17-time world champion because he actually said he's going to enter the Royal Rumble. Now, if you read the ticker down here, he's an odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble. Who would he face at the Royal Rumble? My guess is Cody Rhodes because that is the moneymaker. That is what's going to bring people in. That is what's going to draw money. Come on now, John Cena, the leader of the PG era, going against pretty much a new age in a way, John Cena. So John Cena was the biggest babyface in that era. And then you look at Cody is the biggest babyface in that era, if you really think about it, because Roman wasn't really a babyface the whole entire time. But I wouldn't mind seeing Cody versus John Cena at WrestleMania, especially if it's up in the air that The Rock may or may not appear at WrestleMania. So there's that, right? So he is the favorite. He has a story to tell. He's on a retirement tour. The Rock has a story to tell because it leaves a lot up to speculation whether he's going to be at WrestleMania or not. The Undertaker making his appearance at Monday Night Raw. But it wasn't just like him riding around. He gave a gigantic rub to Rhea Ripley, posing with her and everything. It's just giving her the reins. Like, listen, you are the person. Like, you are the leader of the locker room, XYZ and stuff like that. So that in itself was really good. So those three legends, honestly, with the exception of Hulk Hogan, of course, those three legends actually did move the needle. Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre. I don't know what it was with this match, but the match was dead. And that wasn't the fault of Drew McIntyre or Jey Uso. I'm going to just be honest with you. Travis Scott should have passed it to Jey Uso, if you know what I'm talking about. Travis Scott was out here. And I feel like WWE missed an opportunity because us as fans, Travis Scott's theme, that should have been the theme Monday Night Raw. Like the whole theme. Like had Jey Uso come out to the ring. We have the beat and everything. Shout out to Hang 'em High on Twitter. Shout out to him. It was right there, WWE. It was right there. And you didn't pull the trigger on that. You teased us with it, and then you stopped the song, and then you started Jey Uso's regular theme. But the Drew McIntyre Jey Uso match, I don't know what it was. Like I feel like there was like a disconnect because the crowd wasn't really into it like that. And I'm not sure as to why. But Jey Uso get the dub though. He got the roll up. Everything is cool. I feel like, you know, the likes of LA Knight, you know, Shinsuke Nakamura, you know, Cody Rhodes, obviously he got involved in ring. He got involved in all the other stuff. But again, Netflix on Raw, the first night at least, wasn't for us. You look at all the people that were sitting on the sidelines, that were sitting in the stands pretty much. the same individuals that brought Netflix to Raw, like through their hard work and dedication, majority of them was sitting on the sidelines because they was making way for the legends, because they was promoting this, and they're trying to. Basically, what it is, and I'm gonna keep it a B. Basically, what this is, it says, "Hey guys, this is our product for the people that never seen WWE or haven't watched WWE in 20 plus years. This is what we up to right now. This is what we can offer you right now." And it's a little bit of a lie, because you're not going to see these legends next week. It's going to be back to your regularly scheduled program. It's not going to be all pomp and circumstance like it was the first night. I understand why they did it, because they got to leave with a big bang. And it's like Triple H said, like, you're not going to throw everything and everybody on this show the first night. And it's 3 hours, and it varies. It's been said that Monday Night Raw on Netflix will have varied times. There's no set time. There's no set time for 3 hours. It may run for 2.5 hours. It may run for 3 hours and 15 minutes. You don't know. I mean, in Netflix, you can't do that because, not knowing really the inner workings of the deal between WWE and Netflix. But, obviously I would assume there's a allotted amount of time within that contract that you have to fill out. So you don't necessarily have to do 3 hours every single week. And that's cool. We know the same start time. We know it's going to start at 8 p.m. and so on and so forth. So, I would say be on the lookout for Becky Lynch. Obviously, Penta is going to be there next week. A lot of people are speculating that Penta was going to be there this week, but we didn't quite get that. Hassan Terrell, man, what's going on? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, I would say the highlight of Netflix Raw is Seth freaking Rollins and CM Punk. They brought the house down. They got the crowd back in it, and it was telling a story in the ring. And I know this ain't over. This is not a one-off. CM Punk surprisingly get this dub. He surprisingly gets it with the GTS. And I saw him on Twitter. There was a mirror image of Punk and Moxley, where Moxley kind of like draped over CM Punk's shoulder, to do another GTS. Rollins did the same thing. It was almost like a callback in a way. But Punk did get this win. He did get the momentum. And the amount of people that Seth Rollins has put over, man, Seth Rollins is your workhorse, man. That is your guy. That is your guy. And excuse me, I already know full well that Seth Rollins is not going anywhere. Okay, he has a wrestling school that is part of WWE now. Like, there's no way Seth freaking Rollins is leaving. And with Seth Rollins ain't leaving, obviously Becky Lynch is not leaving. They shouldn't. But CM Punk and Seth Rollins put on a clinic. Now, they deserve to be in the main event. They were really the best match on the card. I know some people feel some kind of way about CM Punk and whatever, but this man is a needle mover. It is what it is. He is a needle mover. The proof is in the pudding, okay? The proof is in the pudding. When the man was on AEW, they were pulling $1 million gates, okay? $1 million gates. And now he's back in the WWE. The old boss is gone. New boss is here. Everything's chill. Everything is cool. It is what it is. But overall, though, Monday Night Raw on Netflix, the debut, was straight. And also, Hassan Terrell says tonight it's AEW Dynamite on TBS Network and HBO Max, and NFL Madden 2K25 video game. Yes, it is. AEW Dynamite is tonight. Be on the lookout for AEW Dynamite. I will be watching that. And, now that we're talking about AEW Dynamite, you know what? No, back up for a second. I will tell you that, again, overall, as far as presentation, as far as pomp and circumstance, WWE has done their job, and I'm not surprised by that. I wasn't looking for someone that has watched WWE for years, for decades, and for the other fans that's watched WWE for decades. You should know how WWE operates. Again, if it's the first show on the network, it's not going to be for us. It's going to be for people that never watch this shit. It ain't going to be for us. We're not going to be 100% satisfied. Ever. We're not. And also some people on social media was like, oh man, we're going back to the Vince McMahon era where you just bringing all these legends over here to take up space for people that actually brought them to the dance. And part of it, I do agree in a sense. And that does kind of piss you off a little bit. But the legends that were on there, minus one, Hulk Hogan, all of them moved the needle and they did their due diligence. Even The Rock. The Rock showed up on NXT. He showed up on NXT in the NXT ring and cut a promo with NXT. So that actually was really cool to see. But overall, again, the next Raw will be for the WWE fans that stayed here for decades. That next week, the second Raw is going to be for us. All right. The first one wasn't going to be for us. Like, there's some parts where I got bored. There was some parts where I damn near fell asleep. But I knew what it was for, and it wasn't for us. It wasn't for us. It is what it was. Please do not put Hulk Hogan back on TV. That's the best thing I can tell you. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever put that racist bastard on TV ever again. He do not deserve TV time. I know Pat McAfee poking fun at him. He like, y'all wouldn't mind having Hulk Hogan on the show. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And a lot of people like do not want to address the elephant in the room when it comes to him. It's like they painting it out. Oh, no, it's politics. It got nothing to do with politics. He's just a racist. That's it. That's it. It's more like, you know.
Where's the 5 fingers? Say to the face. What? Slap.
Everybody in LA want to do that. Everybody in LA want to do that. The minute they saw this man, that would happen. The minute he came out,
his ass cooked. He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked. Got his ass.
That's what it was. He got cooked. He got cooked. You disappointed? You shouldn't be shocked, bro. You shouldn't be shocked. Yeah, I mean, you say racist shit. This is what you're gonna get. And people are never gonna forget that. There's some people in the world that they're never gonna forgive you. And you might want to fade off into the sunset. Y'all should have listened to Iron Sheik. You should have listened to Macho Man Randy Savage. Macho Man Randy Savage called that man scumbag, a punk. He called that man a punk. He was dead ass serious. It wasn't no promo. He was dead nuts about that. And people try to paint Macho Man like, oh man, he was just a jealous dude, man. Nobody was talking to Elizabeth, blah, 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 blah. Nah, Macho Man was right. Macho Man was right. But either way, AEW Dynamite. Now, let's talk about HBO Max and AEW, because they did their premiere before, Netflix, Raw and Netflix. I will say you this, though. On HBO Max, it is brighter. It is cleaner. I do have my gripes about the first Dynamite on HBO Max. It's talk about the mother of all simulcasts, and that's how it was marketed and everything else. I will tell you this. Jeff Jarrett. I love Jeff Jarrett. Let me preface this by saying this. I love Jeff Jarrett. I love what he does for the wrestling business. I just love what he does. But to be on TV and announce a retirement tour and saying, hey, I'm going after the AEW World title, that wasn't a good idea. It just wasn't a good idea. Because now it's like you're taking up someone else's spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is Ricky Starks? Where is he? Where's Ricky Starks? Where's Miro? Where are all these individuals that we have signed? Well, I said we. You have signed onto AEW. This is the mother of all simulcasts, right? You could put nobody else in that spot. You could. Matter of fact, here's what the thing. If Jeff Jarrett would have said, yeah, I'm gonna go after the world title, and then Ricky Starks' music hit, and then he just attacks Jeff Jarrett, I'd have been cool with it. I was expecting Ricky Starks to come out or Miro to come out and do what he's going to do. But that was not Exactly. C. Henry said it best. AEW could have kept that segment on YouTube. They could have. That we could have done without that. We could have done without that segment. And we did have some good matches. We had some good matches on there. But that segment that really didn't sit well with me. That really didn't. And for things to get better with AEW, like if you look on HBO Max, you got the 2019 run, right? Look at how many people are in that building. That first AEW show, 14,000 people plus 14,000. And it was doing 5 digits each week. Okay. And something changed, post COVID on to now. I mean, obviously, with Cody Rhodes leaving and pulling up at WrestleMania, that was a huge debt because a lot of people thought that was a nail in the coffin and yada, yada, yada. But pump your brakes, okay? Pump your brakes. I feel like in the past that Cody Rhodes kind of, in a way, screwed himself. And here's what I mean by that. When he put it out there that if you beat me, I would never challenge for the AEW World Title ever. Never. Why would you say that? You lost. Now, there's no way we can see you going for the world title because of what you said. And considering what your character is, you're a man of your word. And there was pushes for you to be a heel. You refused to do that. And in a way, the fans turned on you. AEW fans is different from WWE fans. And WWE fans are different from AEW fans. AEW fans, there's a great majority of the percentage are sickos. You know what I mean? We love 20-minute matches. Kappa, what AZ, what's going on? We love like 20-minute matches, 30-minute matches or whatever. But I'm going to tell you right now, Road Dogg said it best. He says, for a pro wrestling show, you ain't going to make that much money by just doing pro wrestling. It ain't that many key matches you can do to keep the attention of the casual viewer. You have to do something else. You had it right. AEW 2019 had it right. You had Shaq, you had Snoop, you had Tyson, you had all those people, but that didn't overshadow the overall product. You had tag team matches. Young Bucks even said it best, like, oh man, we're gonna put tag team back at the forefront and everything else in between. Private Party is the AEW tag team champions. They are on Collision. They defended the tag team championships, but they should be on TV every single week. Dynamite, for starters, you got the Death Riders being the trios champions, but they haven't defended them belts since they won them. Konosuke Takeshita is the AEW International Champion. Actually, he 2 belts to Takeshita because at Wrestle Dynasty, he won the Open Weight Championship at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Dynasty. So he did that, right? Daniel Garcia is defending his TNT title. Mariah May, ever since the whole Toni Storm deal, not saying she's stagnant, but she needs more people to challenge her for that AEW World title. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like Tony Khan got ADHD here. Like, bro, I feel like what you need to do is get a creative team to work with everybody and you get your hands off of it. You just run the marketing, you run all this other stuff because it's like, oh man, I got these toys. I have the Kenny Omegas, I got the John Moxleys, I got all these other people. Let's put these 2 people against each other and see how people, let's put these 2 people. There's no story behind it. It's just the matches. You know what I mean? So that's where we at with it. And I'll see him say, I think Cody might have missed behind the scenes, but not on camera. And Punt, yes. And Punt drama didn't help things either. The whole Punt situation. Like, love him or hate him, Punt had a point. He had certain points. Because he was like, I'm about making money. I'm about bringing more eyes to the product. And there's a way to bring more eyes to the product without losing your identity. You know what I'm saying? When Vince McMahon was running WWE, it was easy pickings for AEW. Easy pickings. Because everybody jumped ship to AEW because everybody was treated right. You had insurance, you had all this other stuff. It was a new kids on the block, and it was wrestling for wrestling's sake. It didn't spend 30 minutes talking at the beginning of the show, and you have yet to see a wrestling match. We was tired of seeing that on the other show, but we was getting something different. You can still do that on AEW. You just got to focus on the stories. One thing that was frustrating to me was Chris Statlander, Stokely Hathaway, and Willow Nightingale. When Chris Statlander turned on Willow, that was huge. That was huge for me, right? Stokely is Statlander's manager, and then she had this big fight with Willow, which was really good, by the way. And then right after that, you know, Statlander is a good guy again. Like, what happened? And then, you know, they try to build it up where, oh, well, Stokely put me in a bad position and XYZ, and, you know, I didn't pretty much agree with what he said. And, you know, I'm like, you just killed the storyline. Like, like, you know, or we feel like there was no other direction. There was plenty of direction to go with Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander. Like, Stokely is a great mouthpiece. Stokely is a great manager. You could have kept her with him and kept that heel run, because a heel Statlander, I really did love. I really did love that. And she won the feud. Henry said Tony can turn things around. A TV writing crew is needed to art the storylines for TV. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree. I love AEW and what it stands for. And I think with Kenny Omega being back, I think the ship will get turned around. Matter of fact, another storyline that kind of caught my attention, that kind of pissed me off a little bit, was when the Young Bucks and Okada attacked Tony Khan. Like, hurt his neck. And I mean, the man sold it all. He had the brace around his neck and everything, right? At the NFL draft. And then all of a sudden, the story got killed. He got killed. He was like, he didn't want nobody to think somebody else was writing the story. So the rumor says. That's alleged. You know? I mean, there's been a couple takeover angles that just didn't take off. Like the Death Riders. I feel like that was the best opportunity for a takeover angle. Like, every single week, they should be whooping somebody's ass on the random. Somebody, right? Like they was put a takeover production truck, and they didn't do that. It was kind of weird. They should have had some type of takeover angle. I mean, Eric Bischoff is a hater. Don't get me wrong. He's an AEW hater. The number one AEW hater. He like, it's cooked. It's done. It's cooked. It's done. They're going to run out of business. Yada, yada, yada. Now, rumor had it that AEW and HBO Max, they're looking to make at least $3 million a week on AEW Dynamite. So they ain't losing in the money department, but you know, the crowd, they're looking to go to smaller venues, I guess, to rebuild the crowd size and make it sound better. And then, you know, you got AEW All In and all the other stuff, which hopefully I get a ticket for All In. I wouldn't mind going to All In. I wouldn't mind going to Texas in the summer to go check out All In. But I would see Henry. Like, yes, Tony Khan can turn this thing around. Just get a writing crew, man. You got so many legends in that bag. You got Dean Malenko. You got Jeff Jarrett. You got Kenny Omega. I think Kenny Omega was working with the girls, with the ladies. So you got some creative people in the bag, and they can write these stories out and connect the dots and keep this thing rolling. Boom, 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 boom. And we don't have to keep doing matches for matches' sake. Yes, I enjoy the matches, but it can only go but so far. So if I can say Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson, right? You just slap them in the match together, right? That's cool. That's cool. It would be 10 times better if there was a story behind it. 10 times better if there was a story behind it. More eyes on it. Casual, sickos. It'd have been better marketing. You got a creative person in Darby Allin. Darby Allin do these movie vignettes. I know that's him. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you got to protect wrestlers from themselves, man. You got Miro. You got Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks, I have said this for weeks. Ricky Starks is your cash cow. He is your guy. Do not fumble that bag. Don't fumble that bag, man. Eric Bischoff is just hating because Time Warner is AEW 100%. Remember the time Warner got rid of WCW when he was about to bite? Yes. And part of me feel bad for Eric Bischoff, to be honest. I mean, there was some parts where he wasn't there, and Nitro kind of went in the tank before he went there. Now, I would say some of the mistakes that Bischoff made is that too many people was in the NWO, and it wasn't as unique as it was supposed to be. You know, everybody was turning on somebody to join the NWO. It just wasn't as authentic, right? But yeah, Bischoff made some mistakes, but Bischoff was a marketing genius, though. I mean, he took a company that was in debt to being the number one company and almost putting WWE out of business and leading the league in ratings for 83 plus weeks. Cannot take that away from that man. That man has some phenomenal ideas. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Elimination Chamber was Eric Bischoff's idea. I think that was his idea. So All In is in July. It is in July. And Eric Bischoff has failed on 3 different occasions. Now, yeah, that TNA deal, that TNA deal, oh my gosh. That was bad. Hulk Hogan, again, let me tell you something. Fuck Hulk Hogan. All right. The minute that mofo got on TNA and said, oh, guess what? We're going to change it off to 6-sided ring. We're going to make it a 4-sided ring. We're going to go to Monday nights. We're going to battle Monday Night Raw and all that other stuff. Kill TNA. Killed it. Killed TNA. And I mean, I'll never forget that. I'm like, oh shit, the Monday Night Wars is back, right? I'll never forget, it was Jeff Hardy and someone in a cage match, right? That same segment, that same time frame, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels in the ring for the first time since the Montreal Screwjob. Which one you think the viewer's going to watch? Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. That whole promo segment, it wasn't even a match. It was talking. That's it. Why? Because there was a story there between the two. We all know about the Montreal Screwjob. We hated Shawn for a period. We despised Vince McMahon to the point where Vince McMahon even created a character out of that in Mr. McMahon, or whatever the case may be. But the whole storyline in it, like, story is going to always top 5-star matches. It's going to always top that. That's an unavoidable thing. But again, going back to AEW, you can put out stories without losing your identity in what you are. You have great partnerships with CMLL. You got great partnerships with New Japan Pro Wrestling. You had a partnership with TNA. You know, and I keep saying it, I've been saying this for weeks. Scott D'Amore, get him, hire him, let him be part of creative. Let that man be creative. And for God's sakes, he can work with the women. Look what he did for TNA. All those good matches he had. Everybody loves Scott D'Amore. And if you get Scott D'Amore, then there are people that love him may be enticed to come over to AEW. Hire Scott D'Amore, man. And you already had your AEW talent on Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling at the show. So he said, I know this is off topic, but Watch Hogan will use that he is MAGA supporter for the reason why he got booed. Yeah, of course. He's gonna go that route. He's gonna completely gloss over the fact that he's a racist. So, like, it ain't got nothing to do with your political affiliation, my boy. You just said the N-word multiple times. But yeah, so back to AEW, I would say you can hire Scott D'Amore, and again, for God's sakes, put Ricky Starks on TV, put Miro on TV. And a part of me wish I was in part of the media scrum. I'm gonna apply for media at some point. That I'm gonna ask him. I wouldn't say hard-hitting questions, but questions that people have concerns about. Because the people that are concerned with AEW, they want to see a continuing story. They don't want to see stories just end. Now that Adam Copeland is back, or Rated R Superstar Cope, I will say though, Adam Copeland and Christian, their feud. They bumped the ratings. They bumped the ratings because they know the game. They know how to tell the story. They know how to do all these things. Learn from them. That's all I want to say. Now, also in other pro wrestling news, like Chris Charlton, he is suspended indefinitely for his comments about AEW. Now, over this past weekend, there was New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, AEW did this cross promotion pay-per-view called Wrestle Dynasty, where Kenny Omega did his in-ring debut, returning debut against Gabe Kidd. Now, hear what was said. Here, according to Brian Everest, it says, yes, there was an angle here with Gabe Kidd coming out with New Japan Trunks, and they're trying to do a story here. But the issue people had was there was a way to build up a rivalry without saying that Tony Khan is a money mark who stole Jay White, Okada, and Kenny Omega and has done nothing with them since. So those comments alone got him suspended. And for what I understood and for what I read, that Tony Khan had nothing to do with that suspension. It was New Japan. It was like, all right, bro, you done. And it said indefinitely, but it's really too much. It's really a 2 month suspension. And I think maybe he was leaning in too much with this rivalry because it is, look, you might feel the way about AEW, but you're a commentator, my boy. This is your job. You know what I'm saying? There's a line. If you were telling the back up a little bit and say, hey, slow down, dog, like, come on, you might want to slow your roll a little bit. Because there's certain freedoms that commentators have in Japan, you know, AEW. Nobody's not like him and hawing in the ear like that. But that wasn't really a smart move on his behalf. Like, don't fumble the bag on your personal feelings. Don't do that. Don't fumble the bag, my boy. And he technically fumbled the bag. It is what it is. Obviously, he might be back on TV as far as English commentary is concerned for New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I mean, Kenny Omega was sick. Okada is the Continental Champion, and I'm pretty sure that Kenny Omega is looking at Okada and trying to take his Continental Championship belt. And Jay White has been on TV almost every single week. So you can't say he's not using them because they're on TV. You can say that. But yo, that is our show for today, man. You ought to know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. As far as pro wrestling, we will be premiering our Pro Wrestling Live shows on 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And on Thursday, my boy Boogie Blends, Vivo the Vibe, and myself, we'll be talking all things of geek culture outside of wrestling. That means anime, manga, comics, all this other stuff. But we got a jam-packed show for you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Again, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. And yes, Pro Wrestling Show will be back with the infamous Alvin Staley because he's my partner in crime when it comes to Pro Wrestling Talk. And I might change that name from Pro Wrestling Talk to Turnbuckle Talk or something like that because Pro Wrestling Talk seems so generic. It is what it is. But yeah, AEW Dynamite tonight, simulcast at HBO Max and TBS. Be sure to check out AEW Dynamite because Kenny Omega is back. And I heard Buddy Murphy or Buddy Matthews is actually in a match tonight. So I might want to check it out. I just wanted to lead to a story, not just a match. That's all I want. That's all I asked for. But hope you guys have a awesome day and awesome night. See you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So until next time, y'all. Peace.